This is Top Accolade African News Updates. I am Soibifa Jackridge. The UK has given Rwanda a further €100 million this year as part of its deal to relocate asylum seekers there. The payment was made in April. The Home Office top civil servant said in a letter to MPs after €140 million had already been sent to the African nation. Sir Matthew Rycroft said another payment of $50 million was expected next year. The revelation came hours after Rishi Sunak vowed to finish the job of reviving the plan after the resignation of his immigration minister this week. The scheme to send some asylum seekers to Rwanda for processing in order to deter people from crossing the English Channel in small boats was first announced by then Prime Minister Boris Johnson in April 2022, but it has been repeatedly delayed by legal challenges and no asylum seekers have been sent from the UK so far. Until now, it was known that the government had spent at least €140 million on the policy. Sir Matthew had previously refused to disclose updated figures, saying ministers had decided to set out the cost annually. Sir Matthew stressed that the extra payments were not linked to the new treaty signed this week between UK and Rwanda as part of the government's attempt to amend the policy, which was ruled unlawful by the Supreme Court last month. Labour branded the revelation of the extra costs incredible, with Shadow Home Secretary Vate Cooper adding, "How many more blank checks will Rishi Sunak write before the Tories come clean about his scheme being a total farce?" she said. A former president of Sierra Leone has been called in for questioning by police over recent attacks that officials say was a failed coup, an official said on Thursday. The police summoned ex-president Ernest Bai Koroma to its headquarters for questioning on the failed attempt coup on November 26th, Information Minister Shenoba said in a statement. Koroma, who led the West African nation for 11 years until 2018, has been asked to appear at the Criminal Investigation Department in the capital, Freetown, within 24 hours, the Information Ministry said. His summons follows the earlier arrest of his former security aide. Dozens of gunmen launched a brazen attack last month in Freetown, during which they broke in Sierra Leone's key armory and into a prison, freeing most of the more than 2,000 inmates. At least 18 members of the security forces were killed during the clashes, while more than 50 suspects, including military officers, have been arrested so far. Among those arrested was Ahmad Koita, who worked as a security guard for Koroma until 2018 when the former president left office. Police on Wednesday released an image that they say shows Koita with a gun in a surveillance photo captured when the prison was attacked. A bodyguard of the former president was also killed during the attack. Koroma said that he would honor the police summons and asked his supporters to be calm. According to a statement issued by his office, "I maintain an open mind and stand ready to support the police investigations to the fullest. Let the rule of law reign supreme in our democracy," said the former president, who had strongly condemned the attack when it happened. Although he has officially retired from politics, Koroma remains an influential figure within his political party and often hosts prominent politicians in his hometown of Makeni. The Nigerian military has apologized for an airstrike that killed 85 innocent civilians and says in future they will only bomb targets they are 100% sure of. In a media briefing on Thursday, Director of Defense Media Operations Major General Edward Buba said the army would get more training and more understanding of the protocols that involves airstrikes. General Buba said the army would deal with the airstrike incidents squarely. The airstrike happened when villagers from Tundunbiri gathered for a religious festival on Sunday evening. More than 60 people were admitted to the hospital for treatment following the airstrike, officials said. Nigeria's military has for years been battling armed criminals and militants who have been operating in parts of northern Nigeria, raiding villages and kidnapping residents for ransom. State Governor Uba Sani said civilians were mistakenly killed by a military drone targeting terrorists and bandits. Soldiers belonging to the East African community who were deployed a year ago to fight M23 rebels in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo have since been deemed ineffective by the Congolese government, and their mandate expires on Friday. The troops from Uganda, Kenya, Burundi, and South Sudan have begun flying home after President Felix Tshisekedi refused to extend their stay and top officials criticized their performance. Soldiers from the Southern Africa Development Community (SADC) bloc are expected to replace the East African force, but no date has been set for their arrival. In a related development, the M23 rebel group has captured the town of Mushaki, which is 40 kilometers, that is 25 miles from Goma, the capital of the mineral-rich North Kivu province. The rebels seized the town on 7 December after clashing with the Congolese army. Mushaki is a key transport hub in the region and has changed hands between the M23 and the army several times. Democratic Republic of Congo is scheduled to hold a general election on 20th December. That is the size of top accolade African news updates. You can follow us on our social media platforms as displayed on your screen. Happy Friday.